Once upon a time, in a quiet village in Nigeria, there lived a young girl named Joy. She was known for her beauty and her kind heart. But behind her gentle smile was a life full of hardship. Joy became an orphan when she was just a little girl. Her parents died suddenly, leaving her alone in the world. Since then, she had no family to care for her, no one to guide her, and no one to comfort her when life became too hard. To survive, Joy fetched water for people in the village. She carried heavy buckets from the stream to their homes, and in return they gave her small amounts of money. But the money was never enough. She barely had enough to eat, and her clothes were old and torn. Every evening, after a long day of work, Joy sat alone in her small, worn-out hut. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she whispered into the darkness, "Mother, Father, why did you leave me? Why did you abandon your only daughter in this world? I'm tired of suffering. My mates are in school, learning and playing, but I'm here, struggling just to survive." She often cried herself to sleep, dreaming of a better life, a life where she could go to school, wear clean clothes, and have a family to love her. But each morning she woke up to the same harsh reality. Despite her pain, Joy never gave up. She continued to work hard, hoping that one day her life would change. She believed that somewhere, somehow, a brighter future awaited her. One cold, quiet night, Joy sat in a corner of the small, broken-down hut her late parents had left behind. The wind blew gently through the cracks in the walls, and the moonlight spilled across the floor. Joy hugged her knees, her eyes filled with tears. She had worked all day fetching water for people in the village, yet her stomach was empty, and her heart even emptier. She began to cry, louder than usual, calling out to her late parents. "Mother? Father? Please help me. I am tired. I'm suffering. Why did you leave me in this world all alone? Life is hard, and I don't know how much longer I can keep going. Please, if your spirits can hear me, do something. Make a way for me." As the tears rolled down her face, something strange happened. The air in the room grew warm, and the wind stopped. A soft, glowing light filled the room, and suddenly, standing right in front of her, was her late mother. Joy froze. Her heart pounded. She rubbed her eyes to be sure she wasn't dreaming. Her mother looked calm, peaceful, and full of light. With a warm smile, she spoke gently. "My daughter, do not cry anymore. Joy is coming soon. All your suffering will turn into a testimony. Yes, trials will still come, but your God will not let you suffer and die like this. You will smile again. You will laugh again. You will live and not just survive." Before Joy could say a word, her mother disappeared into thin air. The light faded, and the cold night returned. Joy sat still, her mouth slightly open. She kept thinking about what just happened. What does she mean? Joy is coming soon? When? Is it when I'm already dead? What kind of message is that? She whispered to herself. I'm suffering so much, and now she comes and says joy is on the way. How will joy come into my life? Through who? From where? I need answers. That night, Joy didn't sleep. Her mind was busy, trying to make sense of her mother's words. Still, a small part of her heart felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. The next morning, Joy stepped outside as usual. The sun touched her skin gently, and her beauty glowed like morning light. Her hair danced in the wind, and her eyes, though tired, still shone with a deep inner strength. People in the village always admired her. Men, young and old, often stopped to look at her. Some tried to talk to her, offering sweet words and promises, but Joy always turned them down politely. She never loved any of them. Her heart had no space for love, not yet. She was too focused on survival, on fighting every day just to live. Love felt like a luxury she could not afford. But unknown to Joy, something was already beginning to shift in the unseen world. Her mother's words were not empty. A new chapter was quietly waiting to unfold. One bright morning, as Joy was walking home from the stream with a bucket of water on her head, she met a man who would change her life forever. His name was Leo. Leo was a tall, handsome man who had just arrived from the United States. He was rich, well-dressed, and full of confidence. From the moment he saw Joy, something about her captured his heart. It wasn't just her beauty, it was the strength in her eyes and the calmness in her spirit. He greeted her politely and tried to make conversation. At first, Joy was shy. She wasn't used to this kind of attention from someone so wealthy and respectful. But as days went by, Leo kept coming back to see her, and little by little, Joy opened her heart to him. Soon, Leo told Joy how much he loved her. He said he wanted her to be his wife. Joy couldn't believe it at first. Me, a poor girl from the village? Marry a man from America? She thought to herself. But Leo was serious. He spoke to the elders in the village, paid her bride price, and planned a beautiful wedding. Joy's heart was full of happiness. Finally, the words her mother had spoken to her that night were beginning to make sense. Joy had come into her life, not just in name, but in reality. But not everyone was happy for her. Some of the men Joy had rejected in the past were angry and jealous. They held a secret meeting and planned to destroy her wedding. They could not believe that the same girl who once fetched water for them was now marrying a rich man from abroad. On the wedding day, the hall was decorated with flowers, and everyone was dressed in their best. Joy looked like a queen in her white gown, and Leo stood proudly beside her in his suit. The music played, and the guests clapped as the couple walked down the aisle. Then, something shocking happened. One of the jealous men rushed forward, holding a white underwear in his hands. He shouted, "Joy, you forgot your undie in my house last night." The hall went silent. Everyone turned to look. Gasps filled the room. Joy stood frozen, her eyes wide in disbelief. Her hands trembled. She had never seen that man before, and what he was saying was a complete lie. Tears filled her eyes. The happiest moment of her life was turning into a nightmare. Leo looked at the man, then at Joy. He could see the pain in her face. Without saying a word, he took out his phone and called the police. Within minutes, officers arrived and arrested the man for causing a public disturbance and attempting to destroy a sacred ceremony. The wedding continued. Later that evening, Leo held Joy close and looked into her eyes. "My love, I trust you," he said. "I know you are not that kind of woman. In fact, I can swear that you are still pure. That's the kind of woman I married. Strong, beautiful, and true." Joy cried again, but this time it was tears of joy. She felt seen, loved, and respected. She remembered her mother's words, "You will laugh, you will laugh." And now, she did. She laughed out loud from her heart. Not long after the wedding, Leo flew Joy to the United States. For the first time in her life, she lived in a house with electricity, running water, and comfort. She wore beautiful clothes, went to school, and began building the life she had once only dreamed of. Her journey had been hard, filled with pain and tears, but in the end, her story became a testimony. Moral lessons. 1. Never give up on yourself. No matter how hard life gets, your story can still change. 2. Hardship is not the end. It's a path that may lead to something beautiful. 3. True love sees beyond the past. Real love is built on trust, not rumors. 4. Jealousy never wins. Those who plan evil only destroy themselves. 5. Every storm has a purpose. Sometimes, pain prepares you for blessings. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching Joy's story. If you've been touched, inspired, or encouraged, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with others, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. There are more powerful and emotional stories coming your way. Stick around and let's continue this journey together. Don't forget, your own joy might be closer than you think. Keep believing.